Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Drayon, and welcome to a brand new series. Kind of. We're still technically doing a Paizo TTRPG, which is still affiliated with Pathfinder. Recently, we just got our first introductions into the Starfinder system. So, we're going to be doing Starfinder Hero Flux. That is Flux, short for fluctuation. Last time we took a look at the Starfinder system was when it was in its play test phase with the amazing Doom Slayer. Today we are going full force into the Starfinder system with another viewer request build. The original request came from Ag Silver Radio, but this is a build that I've wanted to do ever since the second edition of Starfinder was announced and was stated to be cross-compatible with Pathfinder 2nd edition. Now, there's one caveat for this build, and technically for the remainder of this series. If we can help it, we are not going to be diving into Pathfinder. As we saw with the last video, there are some complications between Starfinder and Pathfinder. I haven't gone into the current edition of the Player's Guide as of this video, so I don't know if they fixed the tiny complaints that I had with the Doomslayer video. It seems that they might have. I'm getting a couple of hints that the firearms have been categorized in their own weapons category, so they might have changed things a little bit. But for now, until I can get some confirmation on the situation, we're going to try to keep Starfinder and Pathfinder separate. So I'm going to try my best not to use any Pathfinder material when I'm talking about a Starfinder build, and I'm going to keep the Pathfinder stuff within Pathfinder. Anyway, Ratchet, the protagonist of the Ratchet&Clank series and one of my favorite video game characters. Probably my number one favorite video game protagonist. You know the drill. We've done this in Dungeons & Dragons. Let's go ahead and get started. As always, we are going to be using the lore of this character to drop them into the Starfinder universe. We're going to convert them as closely as we can. Starting things off with their stats. Strength's going to be a 10, Dexterity is going to be a 12, Constitution's also going to be a 12, same with Intelligence and Wisdom, with Charisma also being a 10. Now, Ratchet is known as a Lombax. We don't have quite confirmation on what that exactly is, but it seems to be somewhat feline in origin. So, when we have this kind of problem, we're going to have to go with the closest possible ancestry. With Starfinder, this is the Patra. For our heritage, we are going to go with Mael's chosen Patra. Thanks to the Patra ancestry, we get a bonus to our Dexterity, Intelligence, and one other. Charisma. We're also going to get a decrease in our Constitution because cats are apparently very weak in the Starfinder universe. Whatever, that gives us a free bonus to one of our choice. Anyway, hit points 8, size medium, speed 25, languages Common, Patra, Vesk, and a number of additional languages equal to our intelligence modifier, which is going to increase soon, so don't go and write all of them down just yet. We also get access to Dark Vision and an Ancestry feat. Like I mentioned, we went with Mael's Chosen Patra. This is because none of the other heritages seem to fit with what we needed for Ratchet. Mael's Chosen actually gives us a pretty decent ability to re-roll a critical fail on a saving throw. Only once, but we do get to re-roll that saving throw, which is definitely useful because it does seem to have a very similar theme to how Ratchet is able to succeed more often than he would fail. He does have a couple of failed saving throws, quote-unquote, but when it would be a critical failure, he does seem to instantly be able to re-roll that critical fail. I'm blabbering, probably didn't make any sense. Let's go ahead and continue. The ancestry feat we chose is Competitive Spirit, which honestly pretty good. You get a +2 circumstance bonus to a skill check that you will make to compete with one of your allies' skill check of the same type. Pretty cool. Going on to our background. Ratchet repairs a lot of machines, mostly vehicles and tools. So, it would make sense for him to have the background of Junker. This will give us a increase to our strength and intelligence. We'll become trained in crafting and Junker lore. We also get the skill feat of Quick Repair. Next is our class, and this is a class that is technically a part of the playtest still. We never got it in the official version from what I can tell. If you do not want to use this playtest class, I would recommend going for the class we are going to get a dedication feat for at level 2. So our starting class is going to be the Mechanic, which works perfectly with Ratchet, as that's what he is. He is a mechanic. He fixes machinery, mostly vehicles. This will increase our intelligence and will give us additional hit points equal to 8 plus our constitution modifier. We get proficiencies in the perception skill, which is going to be at expert level. Saving throws will be trained in will saves, but be an expert in fortitude and reflex. For our trained skills, it'll be in computers, normally crafting, but since we already have access to that skill, we're going to change that to piloting. We also get access to acrobatics, athletics, diplomacy, society, stealth, and survival. We are trained in attacks of simple, martial, and unarmed attacks. Defenses are light armor, medium armor, and unarmored defense. Our subclasses, we have custom rig, which gives us a toolkit of our choice. We're going to go with the Maker's Toolkit. For the second subclassy thing is the Exocortex. We're going with the turret, because it's a little bit better than the drone. If we want a drone, we can just buy Mr. Zircon later. We want a turret. Next is our class feat. We're going with Explosive Shot, which will let our turret deal some explosive damage, which is hilarious. Moving on to level 2, we're going at the class feat of Operative Dedication, and the skill feat of Catfall. Like I said, if you don't like the Mechanic class, just go with the Operative. It will work just fine. But I decided to go with it as a dedication feat because Ratchet doesn't technically get training as an operative until a little bit later. At level 3, we are now experts in piloting. We'll get our feat in fleet. We also get mechanics ingenuity, which increases either crafting or computer skill by 1 state. We're going with crafting as the expert skill. And we also get a skill feat that uses either the crafting skill or the computer skill. We're going with quick install. We also get access to mobile exocortex and will expertise. Moving on to level 4, go ahead and grab the class feat of coordinated fire from your mechanic class feats. And for our skill feat, we're going with express driver. Like I mentioned, he loves piloting his ships. And also a couple of sporty vehicles, like the hoverboard. So we're going to be doing something for that a little bit later. Going on to level 5. Go ahead and increase your dexterity, constitution, intelligence, and wisdom. Intelligence is only getting increased by 1 point, but the other 3 will get increased by 2. For your ancestry feat, we do have the ability to climb in the Ratchet&Clank franchise, so the best feat, in my opinion, should be the climbing claws, giving us a climb speed equal to our land speed. We get access to damage customizations, mechanic weapon expertise, and we're going to increase our athletic skill to expert. Moving on to level 6. Now we're going with a archetype feat. Basic gunner, giving us the operative feat of mobile aim. We're also going with the skill feat of powerful leap. Ratchet&Clank is a platformer game, so we are going to try to do the sort of parkour-esque build. It's not going to be completely parkour. That's going to be a different build entirely, similar to the parkour build that we did in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. But anyway, Ratchet's not going to be a complete parkour build, but it's going to have elements of a parkour build. Moving on to level 7, we are now experts in acrobatics. For our feat, go with weapon expertise, which will be an advanced weapon. I wasn't entirely sure what would be a good weapon to get this training in. Whatever would be similar to the Rhino, I would suggest. I haven't gone in depth into the weapons, but that would be the ideal one to go with. Next is mechanics ingenuity once again. Go ahead and increase crafting to master and grab the skill feat of impeccable crafting, mechanics reflexes, and weapon specialization. Level 8. For your class feat, sharpshooter. Your skill feat will be rapid mantle. Going on to level 9, Patra Lore is going to be your ancestry feat. We are now masters in the piloting skill. We get mechanical expertise and remote mods. I decided to go with Patra Lore because it's probably about time that Ratchet learns a little bit about his race. Maybe. Going on to level 10, go ahead and increase your strength, dexterity, and constitution each by 2, while increasing your intelligence by 1. For your class feat, we're going with Advanced Gunner, which is a class feat we are able to take as many times as we please. For our operative feat, we are going with Twinned Draw, and for our skill feat, we are going with Quick Jump. Moving on to level 11, we are now masters in acrobatics. For our feat, we're going with incredible initiative. We get medium armor expertise, and we have perception mastery. Level 12, we get the class feat of advanced gunner once again, but we're going with the operative feat of scope sights. We also get access to the skill feat of quick swim, definitely useful for those water levels. Even though you still need to be able to breathe underwater, so hopefully you've got the right helmet this time. I really hated those water levels. Anyway, moving on to level 13. Grabbing the ancestry feat of Scrupulous Stalker. I hope I pronounced that correctly. We are masters in athletics. We're going to get enduring mods. We have impressive endurance and mechanic weapon mastery. Level 14, class feat, auto targeting, skill feat, stunt maneuver. This is where we get some more of the trick maneuvers, stunts that we get to use in the different racing mini games in the Ratchet&Clank franchise, like with the hoverboard or with the hover boots, stuff like that. At level 15, go ahead and increase your strength by 2, your charisma by 2, your dexterity by 1, and your intelligence by 1. You are legendary in athletics. Your feat is going to be Cloud Jump. You have greater weapon specialization, manifold mods, and for mechanics ingenuity, you'll get the expert skill in computers with the skill feat of Craft Anything. And I thought it was about time we increased that charisma, since he does have the ability to attract the ladies, as it seems. Yeah, it's a bit crazy having 4 women fawn over you, though only one of them is canonically his girlfriend. Interesting. I forgot about that. Though it had been years between the Into the Nexus and the newest game, Rift Apart. So, easy to forget that. Moving on to level 16. Go with the class feat of Area Denial Turret. And the skill feat of Wall Jump. Moving on to level 17. You are now expert in diplomacy. You get access to critical eye, mechanical mastery, and the ancestry feat is going to be Boundless Bracciator. I don't think I pronounced that correctly at all. Moving on to level 18. Class feat, Advanced Gunner once again. Operative feat is going to be Twin Shooter. Your skill feat is going to be Experienced Professional. When you use a lore skill to earn income, if you roll a critical failure, you instead get a failure. And if you are an expert, you gain twice as much income from a failed check to earn income. Unless it was originally a critical failure. We probably need to increase our one lore skill that we can use to earn income, which is Junker lore. So, for level 19, with our feat of armor proficiency, we're also going to increase our Junker lore to expert. We get instant mods and medium armor mastery. Going on to our final level of today's video is level 20. Go ahead and increase your strength and constitution each by 2, while increasing your dexterity and intelligence each by 1. For your class feat, we're going with Advanced Gunner once again to get the operative feat of Parkour. I am not joking, that is an actual operative class feat. And finally, the skill feat of Dive for Cover. We've seen Ratchet do this a couple of times, so it's definitely not out of the question that he can indeed dive for cover. So, we're going to go ahead and pick it. And that is the end of today's video. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And let me know who you would like to see next as a Starfinder character. Now, if you'll excuse me, I recently bought me a used PlayStation 3 that works perfectly. I need to catch up on Ratchet&Clank Into the Nexus, which I was almost finished with when I first played it, but I wasn't able to beat that final boss, so I'm going to have to start over from the very beginning. I'll see you next time when I am online.